I love playing games, I love spending time enjoying games, and recently I've been playing Power World, but before that, before Power World took up a lot of my gaming plate, I was playing Moonlighter, a fun action RPG indie game where you play as a young lad trying to keep his shop running by running through dungeons with a dream to see what lies beyond the 5th door. While running the dungeons, you defeat enemies and loot chests for stuff you can sell in your shop for money, slowly upgrading and enchanting your gear and developing your shop as well. The dungeons get harder and harder as you progress each level, and the next dungeon is harder, and then the last with their own obstacles and enemies that all have their own unique elements. And I'm not gonna lie with you, it can be bullshit sometimes, but it's genuinely a fun game. It's a fun game. The combat is pretty damn smooth, pretty damn fun, dodging enemies and using a variety of weapons and gear to fight. My favorites are the great sword and the sword and shield, plus having big old chunky ass armor for me to basically shrug off any hit that hits me, because I like being unstoppable and defeating everybody my way and saying fuck dodging all entirely and just beat the shit out of a motherfucker in the game. Which is, you know, you can do that to a degree if you build your character towards that. The fun thing here is that there's like 2 trees when it comes to weapons. One that focuses on damage and the other with slightly less damage but adds like elemental effects with your attacks. You can have a sword and shield, gauntlets, a giant sword, one of my favorites, a spear, and you know, a bow, which is really nice. You can only have like 2 of each. Well, technically you can have 2 of the same one, but I normally just try to mix it up. All upgradable and enchantable, and changes in different appearances as well when you upgrade them, which is really nice. The funniest one to me is probably like the last upgrade for the gauntlets, which is basically Star Platinum's fist from from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This game is lovely, and the game is available on Game Pass on Xbox, it's on Switch, PC, and PlayStation. With my experience with the game, it has been great. I'm looking forward to playing the DLC. I was going to, but then Power World came around and I got I got distracted. I got really distracted. However, personally, if there's a console that this game would be perfect for, I think it's more of a on-the-go type of game. So I prefer playing this on Switch. I do have this on Switch as well. But you know, it's still enjoyable at home. It's still enjoyable. The story itself isn't really crazy at all until maybe like the end. You really don't care about the story. It's just like the bare minimum motivation for your character to keep going through these dungeons because he wants to know what's past the 5th door and, you know, keep his shop alive. Although the explanation for the dungeons are pretty fucking cool. Essentially, the dungeons are tech or like portals that interdimensional pirates would use to basically plunder these different realms and stuff like that. And when they crash landed like years and years before the village and you were born, the tech was scattered around, and you know, they became the portals that we go in today, which, you know, are the dungeons that we fight in the game, which is, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty decent explanation for all this, and because like there isn't much story, you just accept it like, oh, okay, cool, that's neat. So yeah, the 5th door is essentially just the entrance to the main part of the ship, and you battle the boss who was left alive after all that time, and it's genuinely a good fight. You might get shit on for it like I did in my first fight with him, because I wasn't expecting, like, you know, all this shit, but you know, it was fun. Fun thing is about these dungeons is that fighting the mobs will give you a chance to catch an egg, and you can have like a little companion with you to go ahead and help fight with you. It's pretty cool. It's incredibly satisfying destroying a dungeon too with your companion, and going to room after room and working hard to enchant your gear, and upgrade your gear, and you can come back and destroy everything from previously, like, you know, difficult levels. It's just a fun time, and all the while you can just go ahead, grab all the loot there and sell it to the populace, and hopefully catch somebody who's trying to steal your shit, because what the fuck. Spending money in Moonlighter is all in your control, and you know, the biggest killer of your wallet will be the dungeons, because you're either rich as shit or you're poor as shit. It's never in the middle for too long. So yeah, you're spending money on potions, upgrades, enchants, spending money to extract yourself out of the dungeons, and even setting down a portal for you to go back to the same spot in the dungeon, and even more damn money, and you're spending even more money to create a way to get to your house, and with the portal I just mentioned earlier. It is these dungeons will have you spending a lot of money. Like just upgrading in general, it's the norm. It's fine. It's fine with me. It should be fine overall because it's not incredibly crazy. The dungeons will kill your funds, but the beauty of it is that you can always get more money through the dungeons. Just be smart with your money and learn when to cut it and leave, because I've had many runs I have many runs where I die and lose all my shit because I thought I could handle a room, and that I get absolutely shit on because I forgot to look at my health and I got melted. As you go through the game, your armor adds to your health, and you know, your upgrades will go ahead and prolong your health and change your playstyle. Like I said before, I like to play the tanky character that has a high health, but my mobility was fucking trash. Dear God, the amount of times I fucked up saying mobility. So don't worry about it, right? But buying better beds will add to your health too. It's so damn nice to see your hard work pay off visually, seeing your gear evolve as you play. Your gear, your armor, your weapons, the town, your own shop, seeing like your little buddies, your little companions in their own little farm area next to your shop. It's so nice. It's so genuinely fulfilling to see all your work paid off. Genuinely, I would love to see a sequel to this, to where you can play with friends in these dungeons, possibly using the ending of the base game where the town is given the rights to trade with other dimensions, and the gates send you where other players can help each other get gear and fulfill their own individual town and store as a child of the original main character. Probably, I don't know. The multiplayer would make the game pretty replayable, especially with randomly generated dungeons, bosses, and threats in the dungeons to make them more interesting. I think these ideas could be interesting for a sequel, if there is one coming up. Please, I hope to God, I want one with these ideas, please. I just overall think it would be interesting. Customization would go crazy too if you can really get into it. But with my ideas being said, this has been SinnerMan, and I recommend Moonlighter. I'm still going to play the DLC and see what's that about, and see all the expansions with everything you can do, and experience the base game with all these great stuff. And I know it's gonna be dope as hell. Stay safe emotionally, mentally, and physically, everybody, and see you guys in the next video. It most likely won't be Power World, but if it is, hey, it's a fun ass game. See you next time.